Well, mixed bag of emotion. Padres Yankees weekend. Some good, some bad. The reality is they got choked the first two games.
Oh,
Then third game, yeah, they beat up the Yankees bullpen, which in the middle of the bullpen isn't very good. At the end of the day, they're still a 500 baseball team as we turn to summer. I don't know if they're going to be a playoff team or not. But there are storylines here to talk about. There are also some statistics that just gnaw at you. John, can you please explain to me how this $160 million payroll puts together a rally that encompasses a squeeze bunt, a safety bunt, hits batsman, two walks, an error, and a balk? And that's the sum total of how the Padres beat the Yankees on Sunday.
whatever works, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also the same team that was shut out 4 times in 6 games leading into the Sunday win over New York. It's a team that is 10 and I'm trying to remember the statistic. I don't know if I have it correctly here. This is a team that is 6-11 against bad teams, 13-16 against teams with losing records. They're 11-18 at Petco Park at home.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, there's nothing that fits right now with San Diego Padre baseball. I mean, they went 27 innings in a row without a run with a $160 million payroll. Explain that one to me. Now, there are some positives. Thank goodness they're playing the Miami Marlins here before they have to go back out on the road. Let's talk about Robert Suarez. 0.76 ERA, 23 innings, 23 strikeouts, throwing heat. And Suarez is not afraid to pitch in the 8th inning. That's pretty impressive. Jeremiah Estrada. They got him from the Cubs. The Cubs let him go. He walked a lot of guy with the Cubs. The Padres hit the reset button, and this kid is throwing gas. 11 games, 2-0, 0.57 ERA in 15 innings, John. 25 strikeouts, 1 run allowed, and only 5 hits. Holy cow, that is impressive. Let's talk about Juan Soto. Too much theatrics from me. I don't want to hear from him. Now, I will say this. The stadium, and they drew 134,000, new record for the 3-game series against the Yankees. There were a lot of guys wearing pinstripes in the stadium. But I thought it was fascinating on Friday night. They booed him when it came to home plate. They booed him when he hit the second deck home run. They booed him as he bat flipped it towards the Yankee dugout. Then they booed him as he rounded third and he did the Fernando Tatis hip-hop stop home run trot.
Right.
He didn't have a great weekend because he struck out a bunch of times and seemed to be feuding with the umpires a lot. And everybody had to talk to Juan Soto on Friday before the game, and all we got was generic baseball crapola. I loved it here. I thought I was going to stay here. I love my team, blah, 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 blah. Well, at the end of the day, just too much theatrics. You know, he makes the comment, hey, it's the business of baseball. You get traded. Well, you forced your hand out of Washington. You kind of forced your hand out of San Diego. You know, I didn't play my best. I didn't show how good I could be. He had no explanation of why he could be so bad in 2022 post-trade and why he was so pitiful up until June 1st of 2023. And then he started to hit. Now he's in New York and he's doing well. I just kind of get tired of the theatrics. And the NewJersey.com website today wrote just a brutal column about Juan Soto in the Padres clubhouse. Juan Soto had a lot of unhappy teammates around Juan Soto, and he was a loner, and it was all about him. I use the term Mr. Me, Myself, and I. So good luck. You're gone. You didn't do the job you were brought here to do. Who did a job? How about Aaron Judge? Why are you pitching to Aaron Judge, John Riley?
Yeah, I mean, that dude is amazing.
Home runs, second deck, multiple times, screaming line drives off the wall, extra base hits. He's really good. As good as he is, Giancarlo Stanton looks like a lost soul. This guy no way compares to the stud that was with the Miami Marlins. Now, he's had injuries 3 years in a row. He's guessing at home plate. He has no rhythm at home plate. He's striking out at home plate. To me, he just looked terrible. He's just not the same player anymore. He looks like a shell of himself. And by the way, the Yankees owe him a lot of money. So, John, your reaction to the weekend with the Yankees, your reaction to that guy in the outfield, Juan Soto. You want to talk about Here Comes the Judge? Go ahead.
Oh God, there's a lot there. Okay, so first of all, did you notice how Darvish was initially very sharp in that Friday game?
1 inning, 2 innings in.
One or two, and all of a sudden, it was like they figured him out. And then Eric Hosmer was tweeting about how possibly Campusano is tipping pitches based on how he sets up, in the catcher's box or where he set up. But it was clear that the Yankees knew something.
He hit 3 in 1 inning and hit another home run in the next inning. Now, I thought maybe Darvish was tipping his pitches, but he's such a veteran. And how he locates the ball in the glove before he gets a sign, I think it'd be hard to read a tip. So maybe there is something that Campusano, either stealing the signs or was pitch.com maybe, but maybe how Campusano was setting up with the glove locate. Maybe that's a correct assessment.
Yeah, well, not only how he set the glove, but also his stance. They were saying if he had a wide stance, that meant he was likely going to get a breaking pitch in the dirt. So there were little ticks that they were able to figure out. But it was just mind-blowing when they were hitting all those home runs. And at one point, it was almost 4 in a row. There was one of them that was high off the wall. But it was frustrating. There was one inning where Jake Cronenworth had a leadoff triple, and they stranded him at third.
Yeah, it's happened a few times this season.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a nuts series. I was happy that they came back and won the final game. Juan Soto is an unbelievable talent. He's probably found a home there in New York. I wasn't big on the booing of him. Aaron Judge is unbelievable. That dude is how tall is he? He's
6'7",
6'7",
280.
He's huge. And then, Giancarlo Stanton, you ever notice his batting stance is kind of funky? He's got that closed stance and he's a little bit twisted. He had the one big hit. But, the Padres almost seemed like in the first 2 games completely outclassed. It was like a little league team against a major league team. And my daughter was at the Saturday game, and she says there was 1 million Yankee fans at the stadium.
Well, it was quite a weekend, and on we go. At the end of the day, there's still a 500 baseball team. Next time.